Wouldn't ask for more than you. Say rest assured, we were made for this. We were made for this. Call me up before in forward motion to still this heart upon all my troubled waters anew. Say rest assured, we were made for
Good morning and good evening. If you're watching from Australia, good evening. If you're watching from somewhere in Africa or Europe, good morning. And if you're watching from the US, a very early good morning to you all. Great to see everybody on the stream today. I'm just getting myself settled here, making sure we got everything dialed and ready to go. Super excited to be spending some time with you guys today as we talk about your practice sessions and how you can get the most out of your sessions as it relates to improving your worship guitar playing. So if you are just joining us, let us know where you are tuning in from. It'd be great to see where you're joining us from. And if you are catching a replay, please go ahead and just comment replay. Then we know you are watching the replay. We know a lot of folks catch that one as well. I'm going to get tuned up real quick and then we'll do a quick sound check. You guys can let me know if you can hear me and see me all right. And then we will be off to the races with today's training. I'll do a quick sound check here. Let me know if you can hear the guitar. And we'll do a quick jam with the track shortly, just to make sure that we are for away as it relates to all of the tech things that we want to get dialed in. So today we're going to be talking about how you can improve your practice sessions and really make a big push as it relates to making the most use of your time spent practicing. So we're going to be doing that. I'm going to be answering any questions that you may have. And then I just want to go ahead and put my phone on silent here, just to make sure no one's going to bother us over here while we are busy. All right, cool. So I get some comments here that it's sounding good. Wonderful. And if you let me know in the comments as well what your kind of rotation is for playing at church on a Sunday. Are you in the stage where you are still learning, getting up and running to the place where you want to get ready to play on Sundays? Are you in the space and place where you are on regular rotation, which is on the right hand side then, so you're just getting started, or you're already playing quite frequently, or you're somewhere in the middle where you might play once a month or once every 2 months when it comes to playing on a Sunday? Let me know what that looks like, because that is specifically what we're going to be talking about today as it relates to practicing and improving your playing as a guitarist, of course. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly pull up my iPad so we've got a way to guide us over here as it relates to the lesson content. And let me just pull that up for us real quick. You should hope that right now. There we go. Fantastic. So We're going to be talking about improving your practice sessions, because we all know that in order for you to make an improvement in your playing, that you're going to have to put some time in, right? It's just, what's the word I can use here? It's common sense. We can't expect to become better at something if we don't put in the time to improve. So that is what we're going to be doing today. It's just looking at, okay, great, I want to improve my practice sessions. I want to put the time in. But number one is you want to know that your time is well spent. So let's make that our first point here, is you want to know that your time is well spent. Because why would that be such an important point to make? Well, first of all, we only have a certain amount of time. And if you are like most people, you are busy, you've probably got a job, you've got a family, you've got other commitments. There's a lot of stuff that you have to kind of cram into your life. And you want to make sure that if you're going to spend that, most precious resource, which is really your life, it's your time, that is going to be time well spent. And that is the one big complaint that I hear from guitar players, is either they get to a point where they feel like they are stuck in their playing, right? So they are stuck in their playing, and as a result of that, they're not making the progress. So no matter what they're doing from a practicing point of view, they still end up being stuck. Or we also have some other people who kind of say that, you know what, I don't quite have the clarity when it comes to practicing, like what should I be spending my time on? So I don't necessarily feel stuck by practicing but not seeing the results. I just don't know what to practice. So those are quite common things that we see with guitar players, and we'd like to help you solve that today. And what we're going to be doing is just looking at, number one, what is the main goal for us as worship guitar players? And I'm going to be doing a video, a greater teaching around worship guitar in general, because we get a lot of comments on the channel where people say, well, what is worship guitar? There's no such thing. There's no genre like worship guitar, whatever the case may be. And for somebody who's not familiar with the church environment, with the work of Jesus, with the why we worship and all those kind of things, it could seem quite foreign. But I'm going to just take a sip of water here real quick, and then we'll go ahead and just make sure that we are on the same page with regards to the goal and the outcome that we want to achieve. So we won't get into that right now. That's a topic for another day. But ultimately, our goal as worship guitar players is we want to get to the point where when we get to Sunday worship, we want to feel that we are prepared and that we can go ahead and give our best, right? We want to be able to give our best for that role and that function that we have to perform. Number one, we know what Jesus accomplished for us on the cross. Number one. Number two, we know the power of worship and ministering to the Lord and coming together corporately as we, praise the name of Jesus. So we understand that it's not something that we just take lightly. It's there's a serious devotion in our hearts to want to do our best, and it's not about a performance thing. It's just about bringing a sacrifice of praise and worship and doing our best. But now there's a bit of a conflict that can happen with guitar players, because we have that devotion, we have that desire, and we want to bring our best. But now, obviously, in order for that, and I'll just type in our best, and also I'm just going to go and type in our potential. You want to make sure that you are bringing your best effort to that. But there are some challenges as it relates to that. And those challenges specifically are, it's either a skill-based thing, so you don't quite feel like you have the right skills in order to bring your best or to maximize your potential. So that's one thing that people tend to run into. Another thing that people run into is a time factor, right? So either it's a case of you getting the songs quite late, or you're getting a lot of songs that you have to learn in a short amount of time. There's always the time crunch. Now, if you look at these two things, either feeling like you don't quite have the skills at hand to play or to prepare really fast, so that when you get to a Sunday, you can play with confidence, you can play with creativity, you can bring your best effort as a result of the time that you spent. So if you feel like from a skill-based perspective you are lacking there, I'm going to help you in today's training to show you what the skills are that you need to develop. We're going to be doing some playing to show you how you can drastically cut down the time that it will take for preparation, and that's going to help us with the second thing here, which is time. A lot of guitar players, they kind of get, depending on your music director or the way things go at church, and when you get the songs, it seems to be that for a lot of people, you don't get the songs well in advance. You kind of get them, some people say if you get them a week in advance, that's great. Other times you kind of get it a couple of days before the rehearsal, or maybe even on the day, whatever the situation is. And we have to understand a couple of things. When we do that, there's a lot of volunteers involved on Sunday, right? So it's not like you are being booked to go on the latest and greatest tour where it's literally working with professionals. That's what they do all day, every day. So you're working with volunteers, and there's a couple of other elements at play, and we can't really solve that at this regard. But what we can do is we can go ahead and we can see, okay, great, how can we improve our skills, and how can we go ahead and find ways to reduce the time that it takes to prepare. And for that, we're going to do some playing, and I'm going to give you some specific things that you can go ahead and put into action for your playing and your specific situation. So now we know we've looked at it, all right? Our goal is we want to show up on a Sunday feeling confident, being able to play creatively, and knowing that we are well prepared, and that's why we have the confidence in the time that we've put in. We know the songs, we know the parts, our tones are dialed in, and we can just show up and play and be in the moment and not be anxious or overwhelmed, which is what happens when you feel unprepared. All right, so that's our goal. Now, what are we going to do on a Sunday? Well, it's ultimately, the goal is, if we talk about the audience of one and all those kind of things, but it's about worshiping the Lord, right? And how do we do that? Well, there's going to be music involved. That's going to be the driver that we have to, for the songs, it's music. So that's why I just wanted to remind us, our ultimate goal is that we want to feel confident and prepared so we can worship to the best of our potential, and we can bring our best, and God will do the rest. You know, that's might be a corny cliche, but I mean, that's a good way to live your life. Bring your best, God will do the rest. We understand all the awesome things from the New Testament that, you know, it's not by might or strength, but it's by the power of the Lord. It's nothing that we can do and accomplish. It's everything that Jesus has done. But through that, he has equipped and empowered us to be able to show up and do and bring our part, right? So that is the goal. We're going to be spending it in worship, but in order to do that, we need to play music, which is, of course, the other part of that is that's where our guitar playing comes in. So now we know how this all fits in and what that big picture is. But we want to see, okay, great, if we're talking about music, what can we say about that? Well, we need to understand a couple of things. Music, let's try that again for a nicer circle there. Music contains of 3 sections, and I'm going to go ahead and show you that right now. So if we look at a Venn diagram of the 3 things that's going to make up music, I can zoom in here a little bit for us. This is going to be, music is this intersection in the middle here is music, right? So if I have to ask you, what are the 3 components of music? Well, it's quite simple. It's rhythm, number 1. It's harmony, number 2. And then it's melody, number 3. When you can master these 3 elements, which is rhythm, harmony, and melody, that is when you can go ahead and feel confident in your playing and in your ability to reach our goal that we've just spoken about here on the previous page. Right, so that is how we go ahead and reach that goal, showing up prepared, being able to do the job, but we need to do that by improving our understanding and our application of music. So what I'm going to do real quick, and we're going to be playing some worship songs here today. I'm going to show you a couple of things, but what do we mean by rhythm? Well, first of all, if I'm going to play a part on the guitar, let's go ahead and I'll cut to this camera. Regardless of what you're going to play, if it's a lead line, something like, That is a melody line, and I can boost the guitar there a little bit. But it's got rhythm involved. Or if I just play chords, if it's just chords, there's going to be some kind of a rhythm involved, whether I pick it or whether I strum it. That's rhythm, all right? Whether you pick, whether you strum, regardless of what you're going to be doing, the notes have to occur in some kind of a rhythmic fashion there. The second thing that we spoke about, which was harmony, right? So what exactly does harmony mean? Well, harmony, that's our second component over here. Harmony, that means chords. That is when you take single notes, whether it might be, and you play it together. Now they are in harmony with each other, or if you play bigger chords, like in this case, this is a G chord, it's a G5, but these notes that I'm playing here, they are in harmony with each other, right? That's harmony. The chords are in harmony with each other, and then you can do chords together, which gives you progressions, right? So this will be 1, 5, 6, 4. Or I can play 1, 5, 6, 4. I can do 1, 5, 6, 4. That is harmony. That is how I'm able to go ahead and play the chords. So you think of your rhythm, you need to have a couple of go-to rhythms, you need to have a couple of go-to chord voicings and the way you're going to play the progressions, and then finally, there's the melody component to that. So even if I just play G like this, D, E minor, C, there's a melodic contour that gets formed as I'm playing. Or I can play an actual melody. So see, that is a melody. So going back to our iPad over here, those are the three elements that you want to feel that you have down. You can play rhythm pretty well, whether you are strumming, and I'll maybe just write this out. So we've got strumming that we can use, and we've got picking. Those are the different ways in which you can sound your notes, strumming and picking. Now for harmony, obviously there we have our chords, and we also have our progressions. So if you see a song that is a 1, 6, 4, 5, number one, you have a couple of chord voicings that you can use, and you have a range of different places on the guitar where you can play those progressions. And then finally, melodies. This can be anything. It can be the melody of the song that's being, that the lyrics are being sung to. It can be any kind of a hooks that's part of the song. So if you look at like Lion and the Lamb, that introduction, that has got a melodic hook to it. So okay, that is a melody. So you want to also, as a guitarist, have the ability to play some melody on the guitar. That might also be stuff like fills, or like a bit of a solo, or whatever the case may be. But these are as it relates to, remember we said our goal is to worship the Lord. We're going to do that through music, and we're going to play guitar with regards to that. So what is music as it relates to all of that? Well, it's rhythm, harmony, and melody. And then for the rhythm, whatever you're going to play, you're going to either strum it or you're going to pick it, and it's going to happen in a specific rhythm. If you use a good rhythm, you can make simple chords sound amazing. Harmony, what chord voicings are you going to use? What progressions are you going to play? Do you have multiple ways of playing a progression and chords that's going to fit in with the rest of the band? So you need to be able to develop that. We're going to look at that right now. And then melody, do you want to play the actual melody of the song through which the lyrics are being sung to? Are there some hooks in the song that you need to be able to play? Do you want to play a few fills here and there? Is there a place to do a solo or an instrumental? So all of that then is going to give you melody. So that's all you have to do in order to play music pretty well, is you just need to develop these 3 elements. And that's what I'm going to show you right now as it relates to a simple way in which you can go ahead and make sure that you can prepare pretty quick. So let me know if that makes sense. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just pull up a song here real quick. We're going to look at The Victory Is Yours. So that was a song that we played last Sunday. And if I look at this chord, the chords for the song, it basically starts with A, F sharp minor, and D. So that is the harmony. So A, F sharp minor, and D. And then they have another section, F sharp minor, E over G sharp, A, D sus2, and B minor. So I'm going to go ahead and play that for us right now. And I'm going to use these elements that I've just mentioned in the iPad drawing there. I'm going to have a specific rhythm that I'm going to use. I'm going to have specific chord voicings I'm going to use. And I'm even going to play some melodic lines at the same time. And then I'm going to take that exact same concepts, the same chords, the same kind of rhythms, and I'm going to be playing that onto another song, all right? Without having to go and learn a new song. I'm just going to pick a song randomly on the iPad, and I'm going to go ahead and play it. That is the goal. What is that handful of skills as it relates to rhythm, harmony, and melody that you can develop, and then you can apply it to any song. You don't have to go and learn one song. You don't have to learn 10 different songs, but spend like an hour per song. You can actually just spend an hour on these, or like 40 minutes on the techniques, and then 20 minutes just playing through the songs, because you've got the techniques that are applicable that you can apply to multiple songs. So let's go ahead. I'm going to play this, and let's just listen to it first of all. So you can even hear there's a rhythmic pattern that's happening there. Okay, now as a guitar player, I can come in here like this. So here with the chorus, I'm going to play a rhythmic pattern. Alright, so what happened there? I just picked my voicings. In this case, let's go and look at them again. It's F sharp minor, D, A, and E. All the E's there, and then again F sharp minor, D, A, E. So I've got my voicings. Those are, if we go back to the iPad. Okay, I disconnected the iPad. We'll go back to that shortly. But those were my harmony, my chords. Now let's go ahead and take another song real quick. And I'm just going to go to another song here. Let's hope it's one that we can use. I think in this case it's To Our God. And let's load that. Hopefully it plays for us immediately. So this is To Our God. Now I'm going to take that same idea. Does this play? Yes, okay. I'm going to take that same idea, which is just these 2-note chords. I'm going to play those same chords. I'm going to just go to the verse section. And I'm going to also do that picking where I add high, low, high, low. So it's the same chords, the same rhythm, but it's a different song. So if you know how to learn these specific chords and these specific rhythms, by learning them, you're actually learning a bunch of different songs as long as you know how to follow the chords. So let's check this out. So can you see I'll use the same idea for two totally different songs. Let's see what other song I've got here. Page on to another song. What have we got? Here's Holy Forever. And the original key is F. So let me just go there quickly. I might have to just wait for the song to load. But now I can play Holy Forever. Okay, so I'm going to go straight to the verse section. I'm going to use the same chordal ideas than what I did before. For whatever reason, it's not loading for me the right way. Let's just check that one more time. There we go. It's fine now. I'm going to use the same kind of chord voicings and the same rhythm. So remember our drawing for music when we had rhythm, harmony, and melody. I'm not actually going to play anything new. I'm just going to play exactly the same thing for this song. So it sounds something like this.
1,000 generations falling down in worship to sing the song of ages to the Lamb. And all have gone before us, and all who will believe will sing the song of ages to the Lamb. Your name is the highest. Your name is the greatest. Your name stands above them all. All thrones and dominions, all powers and possessions. Your name stands above them all, and the angels cry.
All right, can you see the similarity? I just paged through 3 different songs on the iPad here, and then I used the same rhythms, the same chord voicings, and there were some melodic things going on, which I'm going to show you in a moment. But then if you practice like that, these are the handful of skills that you can apply in a variety, in a multitude really of different songs. We call this the 2 fishes and 5 loaves technique, right? Because you've got 3 chord shapes, and now all of a sudden you can go ahead and just play any of these songs without having to go and learn different chords, different progressions, different voicings. You literally just do the same thing because you've identified what works and then how you can go ahead and apply those. So if you have any questions about this, feel free to post them in the comment section, and then we'll just real quick look at the melody component, because that is the one area that we have not yet looked at as it relates to the music component. So the third thing over there is literally just looking at melody. And melody in this instance, I can play in 2 different ways. I can play, if I look at The Victory Is Yours, which is one of the songs that we did. I'm going to play that melody over the chorus in either, I'm going to double up on the melody, or I can just bring in some melodic components. So for example, you see it brings in that melodic nature. I can do a hammer on. Now I'm combining melody into my playing, which then goes ahead and brings more of the music components to the forefront. You know that you are growing in each one of those areas: rhythm, harmony, and melody. So let's play that section over now. So this is the verse, and I'm gonna now play the melody on top of that. All right, so here we go with the melody from the guitar perspective.
Your
So those same voicings that I used earlier, just those two-note voicings, it can also be used to play melody. So that's a cool way in which you can go in and play the melody with chords, or if you wanted to play just the melody line. That's another way in which you can go ahead and incorporate melody like that. So all of the stuff that I've played right now was just using 3 different chord shapes. Even though I played different songs, different parts. 3 chord shapes. I had some similar rhythms that I used for all of them, as it relates to the rhythmic side of it as well as the technique components of it. And then I also had some melody that I could bring into my playing. And if I have to learn a set list, obviously if there's specific lines in a song, like I mentioned earlier with Lion and the Lamb, for example, then you can learn those hooks and so forth, but you don't have to play one song 10 times, because if it's a 3-minute song, and a lot of times they're longer than that, right? But if it's a 3-minute song, you're going to play it 10 times, you spend 30 minutes playing just that one song and not really getting any better because you're playing the same things over and over. That's why it's better to learn a handful of techniques that you can apply in a variety of different ways so that you can go ahead and improve your guitar playing, and not just your guitar playing, but to cut down the time that it takes to prepare for songs. So you just need to learn a handful of these techniques, and then as a result of that, you can go ahead and just look at the chords, and then you can play the songs just using these techniques. Now, of course, there's more to it. You can expand on it, but that would be my recommendation to you, is just to find a way to spend some time where you can go ahead and make sure that you just master these handful of techniques. And as a result of that, your song prep is being cut down quite drastically, because you don't have to spend too much time doing specific things or like learning things that might be taking quite a bit of time for you. So any questions, I'm happy to answer those. This stream this week is the Australian friendly stream, and then next week we'll be back again with our normal time for the US friendly stream. But while we are wrapping up today's session, what I wanted to do is just take a moment and let you know about a special offer that we are running this week. If you go to worshipguitarskills.com/birthday, we'll also put that for you in the description. We've got a special offer that we are running right now to for what we call a Worship Guitar Mastery Birthday Bundle. And the first thing that entails, it's our 12-week Worship Guitar Mastery Challenge. Now, if you've already done our 7-day challenge, this is different. The 7-day challenge is something to help you to get up and running really quick so that you can experience breakthrough. So that's one is called our Worship Guitar Breakthrough Challenge, just to introduce a few concepts that you can go ahead and experience some breakthroughs into your playing. And then what we are then doing with regards to the 12-week challenge, that is where we can go deeper, and we're spending 12 weeks together diving deep into the rhythm side of things, the different voicings, learning a bunch of songs, as well as some techniques like those melodic techniques and the embellishments and all those things I've shown you just now. That is a way for you to have a 12-week guided process that you can go ahead and spend time learning all the different techniques that are important for you to master as a guitar player. So you'll remember that before, and I'll quickly just cut back to the iPad here, just to go ahead and remind you of what we covered. So if I go back to that, then you can see our problem was that most guitar players, they don't feel like their time is well spent in their practice session. They feel like they are stuck and that they don't have the clarity to go ahead and improve their playing. But they do have the devotion to be able to get to Sunday, give their best, maximize their potential. And we know that you need to do that through two things. You need to develop the skills so you can improve in the right areas, and you need to be able to cut down the time that it takes to learn the songs on a Sunday. And ultimately, our goal is to have awesome worship sessions that happens through playing music, and our instrument of choice is the guitar. And in music, we have these three different elements, and you need to be able to master all of that. So that is what the 12-week Mastery Challenge is all about, to show you those handful of rhythms that you can just look at a chart and play a song. The handful of chords and progressions where you can play them anywhere in the guitar neck, whether it's the low area, whether it's the middle area or the higher area, you can do it anywhere in the neck. And then being able to play melody, whether it's a fill, a solo, some hooks, or actually playing the melody for the song that you are doing the lyrics for. So that right there is our 12-week Worship Guitar Mastery Challenge. You're going to have a dedicated practice plan so that you can go ahead and develop the muscle memory so you can show up on a Sunday and play without thinking and really reach that state of flow. That's the first thing in our bundle. We have three things. Our second thing is our Worship Guitar Survival Guide. Now, this Worship Guitar Survival Guide is pretty much what I've just given you and shown you now, is to show you how you can learn songs in a tenth of a time that what you would normally spend learning songs, and ultimately have those guitar parts that you compose, whether it's on the spot or you spend a little bit of time with that beforehand, kind of make it sound like those parts were written for the song, because they work so well with that. So we've got a Worship Song Survival Guide. This comes with animated tabs. You'll watch the video, the tabs will show you exactly where to put your fingers, what to play, or if you can print out the tabs as a PDF as well. That's our Worship Song Survival Guide, so you can go ahead and learn a couple of songs using these skills and techniques that we are teaching during the challenge. And then finally, we want you to be able to put together some musical practice sessions in a worship environment. So we've got our Worship Guitar Practice Power Pack. This is a collection of backing tracks in a video format, so you can actually see the chords in front of you as you are playing it, so you can get good at taking the skills from the challenge, the skills from the Worship Song Survival Guide, and practicing it over and over in a worship-focused environment. And then as a result of that, you are able to just on the spot play without thinking, because you've put the time in to play over musical backing tracks, and as a result of that, develop the ability to play what I call play without thinking. It doesn't mean that you are playing mindless things. It just means that you've put in the time so that your fingers do what they need to do without you having to overthink it. There's a musician, I forget who it was, but he said that thinking is the enemy of flow. And that means if you are in the moment and you have to think about, well, where am I going to play that next chord? Or should I use this shape or that shape? Or I'm not sure where they're going now. Or where's that lead line going to start again? If you're just thinking the whole time, you are removed from the moment and you're not able to play with flow. It's kind of like when you're talking to somebody, but they are on their phone. Their attention is elsewhere rather than on the discussion that you're having with the person in front of you. And that's the same thing that happens to a lot of folks when they play guitar on Sundays, is they are just thinking too much. So how do you overcome that? Well, it's the right drills and the right practice sessions to help you make this playing become automatic. That way you've done the work, you've put in the work, and now you can just play and you can listen to what is the rest of the band doing? Where should I move my parts to? Is there anything I need to pick up on? Paying attention to the worship leaders, their body language, those subtle non-verbal cues that you need to pick up on, and then adjust and adapt your playing accordingly. That's going to really lead to a more organic and authentic sounding worship session, because you are there to respond with the right skills and abilities rather than being stuck overthinking things, or even just feeling anxious and overwhelmed that you don't have the skills and ability to be able to do what you need to do. So all of those things, that's part of our birthday bundle. It's open now for a week. So next week, Friday at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that is when this offer will be closing. We'll be sending out a couple of emails around this, But if you want to improve your playing, and if you want to feel you want to break out of any ruts or plateaus that you might be in, and you're looking for a structured way to learn a handful of techniques that you can apply consistently in your practice sessions to develop the muscle memory and the motor skills that will ultimately allow you to play without thinking, and that you can reach that state of flow, which is really a special place to reach during worship, because then you can focus on worshiping and forget about playing the guitar. That is probably the writer downer for today's lesson. How can you get to a space and a place when you're on stage on a Sunday that it's about worship and not about playing the guitar? Yes, we are using the guitar, but it's not about struggling with it or wrestling with it, because we've done the work that we need to do. I heard someone else say that go out today and preach the gospel, and if you must, use a few words. That's an awesome quote, isn't it? Because it says that we can go and preach the gospel, the message of the kingdom, without using words. We can preach that gospel with the way that we live our lives. We can show that the way Jesus has redeemed us, has saved us, and how he's taken us through a process to reach wholeness and restoration. And that in and of itself is the focus, not what we say. Because we know if you say something and do something else, it just doesn't line up. Well, this is kind of similar. We are worshiping, but the focus is on the worship and not about playing the guitar or trying to, what voicing do I need to do? What rhythm do I need to do? Those are the kind of things you want to think about during your practice sessions and when you develop the skills and abilities. But when it's Sunday, this is just a tool, and the tool needs to be able to respond and take us to where we want to go. It's a vehicle in the same way that when you ride a bike, you don't think about, when should I step on the pedals? When should I turn? Those things happen instinctively. The bicycle is the vehicle, and the goal is it needs to take you from point A to point B. And that's what we teach in our 12-week challenge, for you to develop those skills that they become second nature like that. And it's not about playing the guitar, but it's about really focusing on the worship experience and making that the main thing. So if anybody has any questions about this, feel free to post in the comments. If you're watching a replay, you can post them as well. We'll go ahead and answer any questions that we see come through in the comment section. And you can also reach out at any time to Shoal at worshipguitarskills.com or support at worshipguitarskills.com, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you may have in and around improving your playing as a worship guitarist. So with that, I think it's a good time for us to wrap today. It was awesome spending some time with you. I hope you join us for this birthday celebration because we're going to have a lot of great time. And one thing I forgot to mention, that in addition to actually getting the challenge, you also get access to the forum, which is where you can chat with myself and other members, share your playing, share your progress. So not only do you get the curriculum, but you also get some community in the process. So with that said, I look forward to welcoming you guys who decide to take us up on this birthday bundle, and looking forward to seeing the improvement in your playing and meeting you in the forum and seeing how else we can go ahead and help you with your playing. All right, guys, much love. I will see you on the next one. Next week, Friday, we'll be back at our later time, which will be the US-friendly time zone, and then we'll be in touch via email. If we can help you or serve you in any way, please reach out to us, and we'd be delighted to do so. All right, guys, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.